Have you ever walked past an old, abandoned building and felt a shiver run down your spine? Imagine an abandoned asylum where the walls hold secrets and the empty halls echo with stories that have never been solved. These places, once filled with life, now stand as silent witnesses to events that defy explanation. Today, we're venturing into the shadows of one such place, a place where history, mystery, and the unexplained collide. We're going to explore the unsettling, unsolved stories from a real abandoned asylum. Tales that continue to baffle investigators and fascinate paranormal enthusiasts to this day. Get ready, because the doors are creaking open. Welcome to the Pennhurst State School and Hospital. Opened in 1908 in Pennsylvania, it was originally intended to be a beacon of care for the mentally and physically disabled. However, it quickly became a place of nightmares. Overcrowding, underfunding, and horrific patient abuse turned Pennhurst into a national scandal. By the time it was forced to close its doors in 1987, it had left behind a legacy of suffering and a sprawling campus of decaying buildings. But when the staff and patients left, something else may have stayed behind. The stories that emerged from its empty corridors are more than just ghost tales. They are pieces of a puzzle that no one has been able to solve. Let's start with the most infamous legend of Pennhurst, the story of the bully. Security guards and early urban explorers who patrolled the derelict grounds after its closure frequently reported a terrifying phenomenon. They would be walking through the dark, silent buildings only to feel a sudden, violent shove from behind. When they'd spin around, ready for a confrontation, there was no one there. This wasn't just a gentle nudge. It was an aggressive push, strong enough to knock a grown man off balance. Some even reported being scratched by an unseen force, leaving visible marks on their skin. The attacks were often concentrated in the Mayflower building, one of the most notorious for its brutal patient treatment. Was this the lingering energy of a former resident or guard, forever trapped in a cycle of aggression? No one knows for sure. But the bully of Mayflower remains Pennhurst's most physically aggressive and unsolved mystery. Next, we have the mystery of the phantom children. Many visitors, including seasoned paranormal investigators equipped with modern technology, have reported hearing the distinct sounds of children laughing, crying, or singing in the empty wards. These sounds are often captured on audio recorders as EVPs or electronic voice phenomena. What makes this so chilling is that Pennhurst housed children in some of its most desperate conditions. Many of these children were nonverbal or had severe disabilities, and their lives were filled with neglect. Skeptics might say it's just the wind whistling through broken windows, but the clarity of the voices is often the specific. Some have heard what sounds like a little girl humming a nursery rhyme, or a young boy calling for his mother. These disembodied voices seem to be a sad, eternal echo of the innocent lives that were lost or damaged within these walls. A heartbreaking and completely unexplained phenomenon. And then there's the strange case of the moving objects. This isn't just about a door creaking open. We're talking about heavy, solid objects moving on their own. One of the most common reports involves wheelchairs. Investigators will leave a wheelchair at the end of a long hallway, only to return and find it in the middle of the room, or even turned around to face them. In some documented cases, heavy metal gurneys have been seen rolling down corridors, seemingly with purpose, before crashing into a wall. In the Quaker building, people have witnessed doors slamming shut with incredible force, even when there's no wind or draft. Could it be vibrations from the decaying structure? Perhaps. But when a heavy object moves with apparent intent, right before your eyes, you start to question the logical explanations. These physical manifestations have never been debunked, adding another layer to the asylum's unsettling legacy. But what if these aren't just random hauntings? Some theories suggest that Pennhurst is a site of place memory, where the intense emotions and traumatic events have been imprinted onto the very fabric of the environment. Imagine the sheer volume of pain, fear, and despair that saturated this location for decades. According to this theory, the building itself is replaying these moments like a recording. The sounds of crying, The aggressive shoves, the moving objects, they might not be intelligent spirits, but rather residual energy, echoes of the past playing out over and over again. This would explain why the phenomena are often repetitive and don't seem to interact intelligently with investigators. It's an interesting idea, but it doesn't fully account for the EVPs that directly answer questions or the feeling of being watched by a conscious presence that so many visitors report. The place memory theory is a compelling piece of the puzzle, but it doesn't solve it entirely. Another angle to consider is the psychological impact of the location itself. Pennhurst is an inherently unsettling place. The decaying architecture, the discarded personal belongings, the sheer knowledge of what happened here, it as a perfect storm for the human mind to play tricks on itself. This is called the environmental priming effect. When you go into a place expecting to see or hear something scary, your brain becomes hyper-aware and is more likely to interpret ambiguous stimuli like the wind, or rat scurrying, or the building settling as something paranormal. Could the stories be a product of overactive imaginations fueled by the asylum's dark history? It's certainly possible for some of the experiences. However, it fails to explain the physical evidence, like video footage of moving objects, clear audio recordings of voices, and multiple credible witnesses reporting the exact same specific event independently of one another. Psychology can explain some things, but it can't explain everything that happens at Pennhurst. So what are we left with? We have a location with a deeply traumatic history. We have countless first-hand accounts of unexplained physical contact, disembodied voices, and objects moving on their own. We have theories ranging from residual energy to psychological suggestion, but none of them fully capture the complete picture. The asylum stands as a monument to a dark chapter in our history, and perhaps it serves as a stark reminder that some things and some places hold on to their stories long after the people are gone. The mysteries of Pennhurst are not just ghost stories told around a campfire. They are unsolved cases that continue to challenge our understanding of the world. The doors may be closed, but the stories are far from over. What do you think is really happening at Pennhurst? Is it the spirits of former patients, an imprint of past trauma, or something else entirely? Let us know your theories in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you think. If you were fascinated by this journey into the unknown and want to explore more of history as most mysterious and unsolved stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next investigation. Stay curious.